Hey there everybody, it's Sammy here with Wilderness Trek. I'm here to show you how to pack your bag with your personal gear as well as some of the group gear that you'll be getting. Our guides will help you more with that when you're here, but this is just kind of a tutorial video on the basics of what to pack and give you more of a visual of what might be good for you to bring. Most of our trips are 5-day trips where you're on trail for 5 days, and so what I have packed today is what gets me through a 5-day trip. And usually when I go out, we want you to have good pair of hiking boots and shoes. This is something that we don't provide. We want you to go out and find something like this. These are lightweight. They come up to my ankles for good ankle support, so I'll be wearing these all week as we're hiking. Wool socks are also good too. I personally like to hike in shorts. These are the shorts I'll be hiking in all week. And I like to wear a t-shirt when I'm hiking, as well as what's called a sun hoodie. It just provides a little bit more protection so I'm not getting burned because the UV out here is pretty intense. But this is typically what I wear day-to-day hiking, and that's what I found is good for me. So what is good for you might be different, and this is just to give you an idea. I'm gonna dive into my pack and show you some more of what we bring. So the backpacks are what we will provide for you, and so some of the gear that I put in here is up here we have what is called the brain of the backpack. You want to put things in here that are readily accessible, like a rain jacket. A rain jacket is necessary that you bring on this trip because we could get struck by rain at any moment, and if you're wet, you're going to be cold, and we don't want you to be cold out there. So I have a rain jacket that I put up here along with some rain pants. So I keep these both in my brain. These are just my outer layer to keep all of my clothes dry and me warm. So those I put in the brain of my pouch. What I also put in here is some sunscreen because, like I mentioned before, the sun out here is pretty intense and we don't want you getting burned. You can bring a smaller one than this. I bring a big one because I like to share with people and make sure that others don't get burned as well. So I put that up here so it's readily accessible whenever I need it. And I have a bag titled Me on here. It contains all of my little personal items that you'll find on your packing list. Things like the journal that Wilderness Trek provides, a small Bible so that we can read through this each day, and some of the passages that we provide. I have a little pack of deodorant in here because we don't want to be smelly on trail, or at least I don't want to be smelly on trail. So I pack that in here. I also keep my toothbrush and toothpaste in here because I like to have clean teeth while I'm on trail. I also have a pen so I can write in my journal. I have some wet wipes because it's a nice little shower away from home, you know, for your arms, the dirt that accumulates on you. You're gonna get dirty on trail, and I personally, this is my extra thing I like to bring is some wet wipes. Just to keep myself clean. And then chapstick, chapstick, chapstick. Your lips will be very chapped up here if you don't have this. Also a headlamp. This is really important for nighttime or up early in the mornings when you're hiking around camp, to have extra visibility so that you're not stumbling around and you can see what you're doing, also for in your tent. I also have some extra batteries for my headlamp in case it dies because light is a very important thing when it's dark out. So these are things that I like to have also up readily available because if your guide says, hey, it's solo time, I don't have to go rummaging through my entire pack to find my Bible and my journal for solo time. Gallon-sized Ziploc bags work just as well as this waterproof little stuff sack right here. We ask that you bring some gallon-sized Ziploc bags. It helps with compartmentalizing in your bag because you don't want to just have everything all out in your bag in one open area. It's good to keep things sectioned off like this. So like I said, these are the things that I like to keep up in the brain of my pack where things are readily available. And so now we're gonna move to the outside accessible areas of my pack. Right here, I have a cap that I like to wear to keep the sun out of my eyes, and you know, hats are just nice to wear when you're on trail. So I have one of those. I clip it to the outside of my bag with a carabiner. You can also stuff it in your sack, but I like to have it on the outside so I can grab that pretty easily too. Some other things I have out here that aren't in the main area of my backpack are camp shoes. These are more of a comfort item so that you don't have to wear your hiking boots 24/7 because after a long day of hiking, you're probably going to want to take those puppies off and let your feet breathe. And so I like to have a nice pair of sandals that I can just slip on and wear around camp. We will not be hiking in these. These are strictly just for around camp at night when we're eating, by the fire, things like that. So I have these usually just clipped to the outside of my pack or just kind of in this little pouch right here. There's lots of readily available space on your backpack, like the Brain I mentioned, and some backpacks have an outside pouch like mine does here. And what I also keep in here is my eating utensils, because when it's time to eat, I want to eat right away. So I have all my stuff on the outside. I have a little bowl, plastic. This stuff is durable. We don't want to bring glassware on our trips. Coffee cup or tea cup or hot chocolate cup isn't necessary, but I like to have it. So if I'm having a meal, I can also have some coffee too in the mornings. And I have a little spoon and fork combo here for whatever meal we're having. So these are my eating utensils. We'll be using these all week for every meal, and we'll also be washing them on trail. So also on the outside of my pack, I have something very important. We have at least 2 liters of water storage. It's very important that you stay hydrated while we're hiking, because it helps prevent altitude sickness. It's just good for your health, and you'll feel much better if you have a lot of water in you. So we want you to bring at least 2 liters of water storage. Nalgene's are a good size up for this because they're exactly 1 liter each, and so I personally like to bring these. If you have a Camelback or something like that, that works as well. 1 liter or 2 liters, but it's also nice to just have a handheld water bottle as well as one, instead of that's just a Camelback. So 2 liters of water storage, very, very, very important. And that's on the outside of my pack, so I can always grab water when I need to. And the last little outside area of my pack is these little hip belt pockets right here. These are, when I'm hiking, they're right here so I can grab things whenever I want. In here I have sunglasses, because I like my eyes to be protected and I don't like squinting a whole lot. So I have sunglasses in here readily available. I like to munch while I hike, so I'll keep some little snacks up in here, like a Cliff Bar. I have some fruit snacks. On this side, I have a buff. If you get too hot, I like to dump it in a river, and then I can put it around my neck and it cools me off. It can also work as, buffs have lots of different uses. It can work as a hat, a little bandana thing. If my nose gets cold and my face is cold, I can pull it up over my face to keep my face warm. So I just like bringing one of these as a little luxury item, just in case you get a little dehydrated and you need to hydrate up really quickly. I have some Pedialyte. So those are all the outside areas of things where if I need to grab them quickly, I can. So now we're gonna go to the base of the pack. The base of the pack in here is meant to carry your heaviest things or the things that you don't need to get to quickly. So what I have in here is I have the rest of my clothes for the week. Like I said, I have these ones right here that I'll be wearing the day that we go hiking. So all of these here are also included for the clothes that I'll be having through the week to change into and whatnot. So I'm gonna go through what I have in here. I have these all kept in the stuff sack. Like I said, though, you can also use gallon-sized Ziploc bags, multiple of these if you would like. So some things I have in here is I have a beanie, because it gets pretty cold at night. It gets down to 30 degrees sometimes at night, and you want to keep your head warm, so I have a beanie to keep me warm while I'm sleeping and while I'm putzing around camp in the colder times of day. I also have a pair of warmer socks that I like to wear around camp at night that I'll probably put on with these shoes right here just to get out of my gross socks from the day. And my feet get really cold when I sleep, so I like to have warm socks for when I'm sleeping at night. So I have those in here. And I have a pair of extra hiking socks in here. Because I hike in shorts, I don't like to wear long pants a whole lot when I'm hiking, but I do have this long underwear right here that I will slip on underneath my shorts. If it is a little bit colder, or like I said, when we are at camp at night, I will always slip these on underneath my shorts to keep my legs warm while it's starting to get cold. So this is another bottom layer that I have that I'll keep on under my shorts. We ask that you don't bring jeans or anything cotton. For all clothes, really, stay away from cotton. That absorbs moisture and will make your body cold, and you won't be able to warm up easily if that gets wet. All the stuff that I have dries really quickly and is moisture wicking. I have a long sleeve shirt that's a little warmer than my sun hoodie that I like to put on at camp, or maybe on those days when it's a little colder and I'm hiking. So I have a long sleeve synthetic shirt right here. That's kind of like my base layer, bottom layer. And then I have right here something a bit warmer than that we like to term as your mid layer. So it goes over top of this when it's a little colder. It's a little thicker, warmer material that I like to wear. A lot of people will wear quarter zip ups. You don't need to go get name brands for this stuff also. You can find cheap things at Walmart or at thrift stores that work just as well as the name brand stuff. I have an extra t-shirt that I wear for when this one gets gross and a little sweaty, or if it gets wet, like say I were to fall into a river or something, I want a pair of dry clothes to have. So I have another t-shirt that I'll change into for later in the week. And then I have undergarments in here as well. I would say as a rule of thumb, before coming here, overpack, and then when you get here, our guides can help tell you what not to bring. But I would say bring more in general at the beginning, and then our guides will help you to figure out what you actually do need when you're here. One thing that I'm missing here that I just kind of stuff into my sack is my warmest layer. Like I said, it gets cold. I don't like to be cold when I'm outside. I like to be warm. So I have this little puffy. It packs down really small. And what's really nice about this and having extra clothes in general, you can stuff them into your gallon-sized Ziploc bag or into your stuff sack and use it as a pillow at night. And that's what I like to do. When we are packing, I want you to remember easily accessible stuff goes on the outside of your pack, and things that are heavier and not needed necessarily quickly will go on into the center of your pack. One other personal item in here that I have not gotten to yet is a little day pack. This is like from REI. It stuffs down really small. A lot of people use those drawstring bags with the little rope on them just for a little day pack. If you go on any little day hikes and you don't want to bring your entire pack, or this is important for summit day so that you can carry your water and your food and a few essentials and not have to bring your gigantic pack when you go hike up to the top of a mountain. So this is all of the personal gear that I personally bring on a trip, and it all fits in my backpack plus extra room. When all of this was in here, it was probably only taking up 30% of the inside space of here. Wilderness Trek provides group gear for you all as well, and you are required to carry some of it. So you need to have room in your pack. So soon you'll be starting to pack your own bag. You'll go back to your lodge and you'll grab all of your own clothes. But before that, the guides will bring out what is called group gear. And group gear is essentially the stuff that is for your entire group for the week. It includes things like a rain shelter, tents for you and your tent mates, food for the week. You may be carrying a lunch for a day. You may be carrying a dinner for a day. We have things like stoves and water purification systems. These are all things that are important for you and your group to make it through the week comfortably. Your guides will be helping you to distribute your gear properly in your bag to make sure the weight's all good to go. And so if you have any questions, you can ask your guides back at camp.
Honestly, that was a solid run through.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
I do it a lot.
Really?
I do this professionally.
Cool. All right, so now we're gonna go through the whole thing again. You don't have to say anything. You're literally, I'm literally just gonna get B-roll shots of you taking everything out of your pack.
Okay, for a minute I was like,
There was one moment where you fumbled your words, so I gotta do the whole thing again.